Well, CA have just graced us today with a update to the FLC chart, which is kind of incredible. I wasn't expecting this so soon, and of course of all days they decide to do this is a really busy day for me. But basically CA Ellie on Steam has basically posted this, and of course everyone's going mad on the forums for all these new ideas. But today we're going to just take a look at it very quickly and go over what they've shown off. So the most interesting thing about this, before we dive into the whole, sort of what it could be, who's this, what's that going to be there, the first thing we need to take note of is what CA James has said on the forums. Somebody asked, Mr. Goatforce here said, so does this go up to the next lore pack then? Is it only showing one Warhammer update when we know that there's at least two, lore packs are coming? And James says, yes. This goes only up to the next DLC, so you have more to look forward to. So this FLC chart that we're seeing here, these three new things, are only going to be with the next DLC, and then after that we'll get more. So we need to look at it from a point of view where we're getting all these new free things coming with the new DLC. Scrolling even further down the post, we actually get the date of the DLC. So for all the theories, all the sort of, hints and whatever, we now actually have a confirmed, well, not date, I should say, more of a confirmed month, and we are going to be getting the DLC in September. So basically, Argos, sorry I may have pronounced your name wrong, it's kind of fucking annoying. Some vague ETA would be nice, and James from CA once again said September for the DLC. So this guarantees we are getting a lore pack in September. Our prayers have been answered, and that's not long. That's really not too far away. So not too long till we get another, DLC for Total War Warhammer 2. Scrolling down the FLC chart, we can see all the content that we've had, which is actually really cool because they've added the Carabas in there. They've, of course, got the Lord Croak, they've got the Amethyst Wizard, they've even got the laboratory, they've got the map that they've gave to us. So there's a lot. They're basically showing all the free content that they've given to us, and that these three new things are going to be with the new DLC. So the first one we're going to obviously talk about is the Legendary Lord, because that's the first one. Of course, with every single DLC, we've always gotten a Legendary Lord. So, what could that Legendary Lord be? Before I answer this though, I want you to take into consideration that it also says the Old World Update. Now, CA, I did believe, say, of course, that, well, they did sort of hint in the comments when, looking at what James said. Obviously, we're going to get one rework this time. So it's either going to be the Empire or the Greenskins. I don't think we're going to get Wood Elves or Beastmen, because I think that's a whole other thing. I mean, that's DLC, that's paid DLC, so I think they're going to focus on the core races. So obviously, we're either going to be getting an Empire or Greenskins rework. Now, the question is this rework going to tie into the DLC? And what I mean by that is it going to be a cross-game lore pack? Now, personally, I don't think it is going to be a cross-game lore pack, simply because I just can't see CA doing that. As much as I'd like a cross-game lore pack, CA doing that would be fucking, it would be very ballsy, because, oh, fucking hell, excuse me, sorry about that. But I've got a Pepsi Max over here to my side, sorry, I'm drinking it as I'm doing this. But I couldn't see CA doing that, simply because cross-game lore packs has caused a lot of controversy, a lot of people have been pissed off about it, so I think it's very, very sort of, very odd if we do see that. However, there are a few theories to back it up that there could be a cross-game lore pack. The first, of course, is that, well, we are getting reworks for Greenskins and Empire, so, at some point. And basically, Empire and Greenskins both have units that are missing and certain Legendary Lords that are missing. And a lot of those Legendary Lords would fit really nicely into a cross-game lore pack. I do go into detail in this in another video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much here. But basically, long story short, a High Elf versus Greenskin lore pack or an Empire versus Skaven lore pack would really fit in nicely. Going back over to the Legendary Lords though, I've been scouring all over the forums in the the forum post, and everybody's been, of course, speculating about what the Legendary Lord or the free Legendary Lord could be, and everybody's sort of given a couple of good theories here and there, but there are two that have really stood out more than any other Legendary Lords. The first one, and this is my pick as well that I agree would be most likely, is Gorok the White Lizard. Simply because Gorok is pretty much the last Legendary Lord or main Legendary Lord for the Lizardmen to be added. However, There are kind of, skepticism towards this because, of course, Lizardmen just got some love. They literally just got a lore pack, and Tic-Tac-Toe was the recent FLC. However, it did take a long time for Lizardmen to get that love, so who knows, maybe Gorok is a viable pick. He would actually be a real nice addition to Lizardmen. He would, of course, be a caster and a Saurus at the same time, which would be really cool. And then the other one, which everybody is also speculating about, is Thankful. Now, CA did hint to Thankful. They did say that in the end, there is always a chance, but don't expect him anytime soon. That was a hint towards Thankful. And I think Thankful will be in Total War Warhammer 2 at some point, or in the Total War trilogy at some point. But considering him to be a free Legendary Lord, I think that's a little bit unlikely. The only reason I think that is because I think he'll be part of another Legendary Lord pack, because Skaven are still missing some units in their roster, and it would only make sense that Thankful is added in with a Lord pack included with those races. Moving away from Lord packs, of course, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that we know that this next Lord pack is going to be either, with the New World races, so basically it's going to be, I don't know, Lizardmen versus High Elves, for example, and then with that, we get an Old World update, which of course is going to be Empire and Greenskins. Now, we don't know much about this rework, or we don't know, which race it's going to be. We don't even know if they're getting any new Legendary Lords. We don't even know if they're going to be getting any new units. But what we do know is that when CA refer to an Old World update, we know that it is almost guaranteed at this point that either Empire or Greenskins is going to be getting a rework. But then, this leaves us with the FLC that literally no one has a fucking clue about. Some Old Friends. Now, there has been a lot of speculating about what this one means, okay? A lot of people are saying it's going to be Gotrek and Felix as heroes. A lot of other people are saying that it could be another Legendary Lord, compared to the, to the first one. But I don't think that is, because CA would literally just say it's a Legendary Lord and not Some Old Friends. So, me and a friend were talking about for a while what this could be, and we've come up with two theories. Now, the first one is that Boris or the Red Duke get their own starting locations and basically become their own separate Legendary Lords, etc. So basically, you can pick to play them as a Legendary Lord, they have their own settlements, and you can play as them as your Legendary Lord for the third time. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is a little bit deeper. So, when CA reference Some Old Friends, we think they might be talking about their partnership with Fat Shark. Now, we know that CA and Fat Shark are very good friends. Of course, they did a cross-promotion very recently talking about, cross-promotion, of course, trying to sell their games. Now, we think that Some Old Friends could be referring to maybe or possibly bringing the Vermintide heroes into Total War Warhammer. And there is a slight bit of evidence to back this up. Now, of course, this is a bit of a stretch, but it does make me think a little bit. So let's say that basically the Vermintide heroes come into Total War Warhammer as heroes or Legendary Lords you can take for fun, as a bit of a funny sort of gimmicky thing. Now, Vermintide, their Twitter recently put out a question saying, what profession did Saltspire dream of? And of course, people guessed, people speculated, but then Vermintide answered this: like many of you guessed, to operate a steam tank. Now, why would Vermintide say this unless it actually was sort of hinting towards something? And in my opinion, I think it would be fucking amazing if Vermintide and Total War Warhammer have a crossover and actually have heroes from their game come in and of course join armies on the side of the Empire. And of course Saltspire, if you can take a steam tank as a mount, that would be insane. And this is what I'm thinking, because I don't think when they say Some Old Friends, I don't think they're talking about races or lore packs or anything like that. I seriously think they're talking about something completely different, like let's say the Laboratory. That was something that was completely different to anything they've done before, and I think this is going to be a very similar situation. So before I round off this video, I'm actually going to give my opinion on what I think these FLCs could be, and of course with their DLC. So I think the Legendary Lord will be Gorok the White Lizard. I think he'd be a nice addition to the Lizardmen, finishing off their roster and of course basically just giving them a new Legendary Lord. And I think Gorok the White Lizard deserves to be in the game. And as for the DLC, I think we're going to get High Elves versus Greenskin. And I think, of course, we're going to get new units for the High Elves. I think we'll get, White Lion Chariots and Sky Cutters. Of course, there will be really cool additions to the High Elf army. and I think the Lord will be Elfarion. And for the greenskins, of course, we'll get Grom the Paunch as the legendary Lord. And of course, with that, we get the Old World update, which will be a greenskins rework. And of course, well, I'll say that'll be a rework for the greenskins. And lastly, for some old friends, I think it is going to be a Vermintide crossover sort of DLC, you know, hero thing with Saltspire and maybe all those other characters like Carillion. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. See you later.